Hello, everybody. I'm back. This is Al Spath, and I'm here today at Sweet Emotion, a 5 cent, 10 cent table with Robgag, who's sitting here. This is the second part of an hour the second hour. Marcin 89 was just seated here, and he sat with 10, left with 40, had a very good session. Rob just sat a little while ago with 10. He's up to 16. And I had a little extra time, so I thought we'd just shadow Rob and keep Marcin on the line. He's over in Cambodia. And for those of you that are listening in live on the chat, I appreciate that so very much. You can ask some questions as we go along. We're on a 2 minute delay. So those of you that are in there, just hang out, and we'll be there in just a second. For some reason, they allowed me also to sit
on the wrong side.
Oh my goodness! They let Al Spath sit down at the table. So Rob's not going to say what he's got unless I'm not in the hand, and same with me. But then we'll talk whether I'm in the hand or not afterwards. So I'm going to post here. And so now in this particular case, when Rob folds or bets, then we'll tell people. Okay, so he folded, so now I can discuss my hand. I have a 7-8 offsuit, and so I'll just check because I posted to get in here. And Rob, I'll tell you my cards and what I do, and you tell me what I'm thinking and everything else from here on in, okay?
Yeah.
You do all this, you do the commentary.
No, I want to make a comment to Marcin, though, and everybody that's listening now, because I said something to Marcin when he was in his first lesson to check his stat button. I've been on right now for just about 20 minutes. I'm up 661, and my stats right now, I'm at 30 hands, and I've only played 17% of the 30 hands. So that's it, and that's about my ratio is between 17 and 19% all the time, and that's why I was explaining to Marcin that you need good starting hands, position, and you have to play tight when you're first starting out.
That's correct. When I left the table, I lost my stats because I left the table so I cannot see my stats now. The next time when I'm gonna play, I'm gonna see it.
I have the 8 here. I'm hoping that he doesn't have the 10 jack, of course. I think he's got a queen 10 or something like that. So what I did here, the first guy, I'm a donkey, I'll tell you, he bet and it didn't look right, so I came over the top of him. I didn't want Money Wolf to call me, and I got lucky by hitting the 8 at the end, but I was just trying to steal, and it turned into something decent enough for me to win because I was aggressive. That's an advanced play, folks. That's not a normal play early here. You should play tighter than that. But I had posted.
And I'm playing on this one.
So now Rob is raised here, and then Al comes and he re-raises behind him. Take it away, Rob. Rob's in early position.
And I only pot raised.
And I would say Rob has a pair of 5s or a suited ace. So Rob had a chance there to try out his 3-betting that he was trying to do. Do I believe he has an ace, or do I believe he hit a pocket 4s and hit a set? I don't know. I have pocket 10s, so I have to fold my 10s here because
I had pocket 6s.
So he had pocket 6s. I was correct on what he had. I could have went further on it and everything, but I wanted to show everybody there that the 3-bet is the proper, and you can get somebody with a better hand to fold. That was the whole reason I did that. And I'll try to do that throughout this session with my hands, is try to show you what things you can do and why they work or why they don't work. So understand I'm going to be playing a little looser in some situations, but you have to understand I'm trying to demonstrate things for you.
And I have Jack 3. And Al, you're correct. That's my goal for 2016 is I want to 3-bet better. and I was trying to steal that. I only have one spade, but I'm gonna feign that I have the king right now because I re-raised that.
Yeah. That's very good that he's doing that. The only thing Rob forgot on that, and I'll caution him, is the guy he was against had $3. When you go up against a guy that's really short stack like that, if they've got a king, whether it's weak or not, or if they've got a draw for the spade, they're liable to just dunk it all in and take it to you. So you got to be a little bit careful with a guy with a real short stack in that they might not believe you.
I and I understand that, and you're correct on that, Al. Except for I have a note on Old Man, and my note on Old Man, and I don't have a HUD, so my note, it's only my personal notes. My note is that he's extremely passive. So he called that thinking I was going to steal, and then the king came up. He checked, so he showed he didn't have a king, and I just played that I did. Does that make sense to you?
Mm-hmm.
And Old Man only comes in with $5 whenever he starts, so he's always short stacked.
Okay, so I have a 7 here. I just don't believe this guy up here would have bet the queen. So I'm gonna try to take it away from him here with a pot-sized bet. If he stays or comes over the top, I fold. He can't stay without a queen here, in my opinion. See, he stayed.
Some people they don't believe that the person who beating first has a queen.
So I have 3 pair now, but they don't help me at all. So I wanted to demonstrate to you that when you do that and you make a move on somebody, if they stay, shut it down because they've got you beat. Don't, there's no reason for him to call unless he's really secure in his hand there. There's no draws out there. The only thing he can have is really the queen. He could have maybe an overpair, such as like a pair of kings or something like that, but it's very doubtful that that's what he was playing.
I think that he was playing a straight ace. I don't think he had the queen. I think he could have taken that from him.
No, I don't think so. Not with the bet that I made it to him and everything. I don't think he sticks with just an ace there with 2 queens staring him in the face and me coming out of the blind with a check raise. I just can't see him doing that. That's my opinion. You playing?
No.
No, I'm not playing either. And I'm on the button and I already know I'm not playing.
Well, I'm in the cutoff and I already know I'm not playing.
Now, see, I could steal here, but I'm going to let it go. I had queen 2. I could go for a steal here. But
that's a definite steal position with the 2 people behind.
It's 15 cents. Why should I waste 25 trying to win 15 when I got crappy cards? If I had 3-4 or 6-5 or queen 8 suited.
In my early days, I totally agree with you on that, Al. I couldn't agree more. In my early days, I would have tried to steal that, and I would have lost to Brady because he came in.
That's right.
But now my train of thought on that is, for me to steal that, is it worth me to bet 45 or 55 cents to win 15 when I have crappy cards, totally crappy cards? And I would have folded too. Even though that Brady's tight and Hermie's guy would have folded, and I know he would have folded because he's passive, it's not worth attempting for 15 cents with no chance of winning should the flop come out.
So what am I doing here, Rob? I limped. I called only.
Okay, you're in the cutoff, so you have right now. I'm thinking that you're trying to get more callers in on a flop because you have 8-9 suited or 9-10 suited.
Okay.
So you didn't have a premium pair because you wanted callers.
Well, there's the session. Remember I told you about this guy with the small stack?
Yeah.
Now he's committed. I would think that he's got something like ace 6 or he's got a pair of nines or something like that. I've only got 2 overcards, and I'm going to let it go. But I wanted to demonstrate the fact that when you go up against a small stack like that, a lot of times they're gonna put that money in there.
Did you have suited connectors?
I had Queen 10.
So you had one gapper with a suited?
Nope.
Really?
It's a hand that I should throw away. I was just trying to limp in because I was trying to build a pot from later position and try to hit an open-ended draw or something like that. I was just trying to smoke them, in other words, and more of an advance. Tight players like Marcin and yourself early on should not be playing those kind of hands in situations. I was trying to make something out of it, and then I try to make something out of the steal, which is costly. I mean, it cost me $2.
Well, right now where I am is and that's stuff that I'm learning. My one gappers, but I wouldn't have played unsuited. And that stuff I'm trying to widen my opening range to stuff like that for cheaper money.
Okay, I raised here.
But you only pot raised.
Yeah, and then I got called by Jameson. I checked.
I think Donkey's pissed off at you.
Well, nobody bet the first time, so I gotta go for it now. I got Ace Jack, no redraw for a club, even though I have a club. I gotta hope that he's just on a draw here. And see, I just barreled, and won it with Ace Jack and never hit a hand. But that's all set up by the initial raise pre-flop.
All right. Can I ask you a question on the barrel? Where are you planning in the future to do some videos explaining that?
Sure, I'll do.
And I understand that concept, but I do a lot of off the table work, so I understand it. But I think that some of your followers on your YouTube page could really, really benefit from what you just did, but explaining it to them. What barreling is and how you barrel and exactly how you won that hand with nothing.
Yeah, and people must understand that I even checked the flop. I did have a redraw, backdoor redraw with the nut flush with the ace of clubs, but I also had a 10 for a straight. But I wanted to give the guy to my left an opportunity to bet. And when he didn't bet, and then Donkey didn't bet the turn, I felt that both of them didn't have a strong enough hand to be in there. Therefore, I put my bet in there. Donkey called, and then when whatever comes off on the end, hopefully it makes my hand. But if it didn't, if Donkey doesn't bet into me, then I'm going to bet and try to take it down. And more than likely, he's on some kind of a gut shot draw, or he's got a middle pair, or he's got something, and he doesn't want to spend that kind of money, thinking that my check and then my bets were that I hit the king eight or king queen, and I was just laying in the weeds trying to trap somebody. So
yes, I'm finding at these micro stakes down here on full flush that most, if not all, of the regular players that are here every day,
right,
they're ABC players. And
explain that.
ABC player would mean that they play straight by, I want to say, I'm going to say rules, but there's no rules. Straight by the book ABC player. So they're extremely tight, but they're passive. And they'll play their opening hands and not know what they're doing post flop. And if they hit middle pair or a draw like I agree that Donkey was on a draw, they get nervous and they check and they don't know what to do, and that's the only thing that they can do is check. And if you bet into them, they'll fold because of nervousness. They'll fold.
Only thing I would add to that, Rob, that was a very good encapsulation of that, is that ABC players are usually 1 and 2 dimensional only. When I talk about 1 and 2 dimensional, they see their cards, they see the board, they see how they fit or fold, but they also see possibly what another player that is in the hand with them, but they don't think further than that. They don't think what that player thinks they have because of their bets or anything. They just see how many opponents they have, and maybe they see a little bit of position. They just don't take it to the third, fourth, fifth, sixth level of thinking. They're just in that one mindset of their hand and how strong it is.
I agree with that totally, but I wouldn't even give them a level 2. I'd give them a level 1.5. Is that they think that that what their opponent would have, but and they always put their opponent on the strongest hand. They always do.
Monsters under the bed.
Absolutely. And I guess that was what when I said when Marcin had top pair, top kicker, he had an ace king and the 3 diamonds flopped, and he was afraid of
that was king queen off.
No. This is a different hand. The
Yeah.
hand with the 3 diamonds.
Yeah.
You had ace king and no
That
diamonds.
one, yeah, I remember.
And your opponent had ace king too.
Right. They both had ace king, but he was afraid of the flush board, and it's only 12% that will come out, that he'll flop a flush. And so that means that 88% of the time he's not going to. So you're ahead, way ahead. There's no reason at least to probe bet on that and be afraid of what you just said, Al, the monsters under the bed.
I will want to make one thing. You know, Rob wants to make it the 1-2-2 one ABC players at a 1.5 or something like that, and I put him at a 2. There are ABC players that are 4 and 5 dimensional. They are very, very good players and think about all those things, but they're still ABC players in the fact they only play good hands. They play it a certain way. They haven't changed the way I'm folding 2-3 here. They haven't changed the way they play because it was successful for them when they were starting out. So they get all these reading books and they get these videos and they get the training and they advance their game somewhat, but they stick in the ABC mold, even though now they're thinking about what other people have and what other people see them as their image, if they're a knit, very tight or anything like that. But they never, ever get out of that ABC. So you can get some people, but those are the exception, not the rule.
Now you think that they're the exception to stay in ABC?
They're an exception to stay ABC and get up to 4 or 5 level thinking.
Really?
Yeah, because when you get up to 4 or 5 level thinking, I have queen 4 here. I just suited. I just call for the nickel. When you get up to 4 or 5 level and things like that, you're not. You're thinking a lot. You're thinking about the texture. You're thinking about the bet size. You're thinking about a lot of different things. But if you're still playing, and some of them still play the ABC, they just won't commit. And you'll see that in tournaments. Late in tournaments, the ABC player, that player is the guy that runs out of chips just before the bubble. He's playing so tight that other people are taking his chips away.
I had that exact conversation last night with my son about how my play has been progressing and so on and so forth, and where I started off as an ABC player, and one of the things that I said to him was when I first began that I just knew the rules of poker, and you can't win if you only know the rules. You cannot win any money if you only know the rules, because you get ABC players that understand some concept and they win. Once you become an ABC player, it's if you're a good ABC cash player, I don't know my tournament, so a good ABC cash player, you can't lose a lot of money, but you can't win a lot of money either. You're a break-even player. And I see a lot of people on this site right now that they'll win $5 today, lose $6 tomorrow. Win $5 the next day, lose $4 tomorrow. And that's what until you get past that thinking, the next level, you can't win money. Did that?
That's about right. Yeah, I had 7-5 suited that time on the button. I raised. I got a 6-3-10 on the flop. He checked. I just bet it. Even if he stays, I still got a redraw for the straight. If he would have bet a small amount, I would have probably came over the top of him. So I had myself in position to just steal or make money on that, even though my cards weren't the greatest. They weren't that bad either. And that was against Brady. So I knew he had high cards, and he just didn't hit any of them. See, now he raised for the button, but he only raised min.
And I consider just raising min as a limp in. That's
Almost,
the same.
unless you know the guy knows what they're doing, and they're trying to trap by doing that, hoping that you will see it as a weak hand. There are some people that might do that, especially later in tournaments too. For those tournament players out there, don't misunderstand the min bet late in the tournament. It's not what you think it is.
And that's why I was complaining that I'm to the right of you, because now I have to play, because I know that you understand all that stuff. I have to play. If I limp in, I know that you know if I'm limping in, there's a reason why. Because you're way past a level 2 thinker. And so by me saying that, that puts me past a level 2 player, because I'm playing. I know that you know that I know what I'm doing.
And I know that you know that when
Yeah, and
I know that you know that I know that I'm getting out of this hand.
But that makes it. Not only does that make it difficult for you and me to play against each other, it makes it more fun, in my opinion. Except for fun costs me money sometimes.
I know. Like that hand I had the tens, I could have went all in on that hand. You probably would have folded it with your sixes.
I would have folded. I know I would have.
But anyhow, I wanted to show that your check raise out of there was a very effective tool.
And you know what, Al? It would have been. It's an extremely effective tool, except for where you are. Because you knew exactly what I was doing when I did it. I knew you did, and you said it. You put me on fives, I had sixes. There's no difference. And when you and my thought process on that is, when you raised, you knew that I was min raising on a or just pot with a mid pair. Now I have to say, does he got an over pair? So I 3-bet you on that. If you went all in, I would have bet that you had me beat, but you may not have, knowing with your knowledge, knowing that I only had a pocket pair. You were stealing it from me then, but I couldn't call with that pocket pair. I could not call a forward bet with pocket sixes.
As you all can see, Rob has learned quite a bit in the last couple of months. He started, do you know what the date was? Was it September?
I do know the date, and nobody believes me because it's only January. I started playing the first time that my first lesson ever was September 1st.
September 1st, and now recently I think you hit the $600 mark again, and you took another $200 off, or $300 off, and you're doing pretty well on building that bankroll back up pretty quickly. But at nickel dime, at 10 cent 25, it'll occasionally at 25.50, right?
Yes, and that's my
goal. Back to the goals.
That's right. Another goal of mine is to play 25.50, the 50 no limit, and I've got in there a bunch of times in the last 2 weeks. I'm feeling a lot more comfortable up there, and I'm seeing that not only can I compete up there, I'm winning money, and the money is a lot bigger. How's that? That's a good.
Yeah. So are the losses. You have to tell. That
Yes,
sometimes you can get hit, but the thing is, the further you go up, the easier, in my opinion, it is to put players on hands. Down here, when it's a nickel dime and somebody makes it 25, you really can guess what they have, but you can't really tell what they have. Up there, when you're talking about a bigger bet at $1.35 or $1.85, you tend to be able to isolate down to a smaller percentage of hands that they can have.
You're absolutely correct. And if you remember, and for everybody listening, I have to fold this as much as I.
Yeah, don't say anything.
No, I won't say it, but I'm telling you, as much as I would have liked to limp in, I have to fold. And the reason why I'm folding is because you only limped in with a dime right way out of position.
Yeah, I did because I wanted to just get in his hand and play it multi-way. I've got king queen suited of spades, and I wasn't going to re-raise or anything like that. If I was in your shape, I don't know what you had. Don't tell us now, but probably I call there just for the dime and see what happens. Even if I was trapped and I go higher, it's only a dime more that you're going to lose, and you may have hit this flop. So we'll see later on.
Right. I'll tell you what I had as soon as we're over.
Yeah.
But that's exactly what I'm talking about. Is I knew for you to come in just for a dime, I knew that you had me. I would only had one thing to go on here.
Donkey's going to bet at the last minute. No. So I pick up the flush draw here. Somebody may already have a full house. May have a straight. May have three of a kind. Definitely have two pair.
What suit are you, Al?
Spades. So that 10 of spades there would have been a perfect card for me. Although 9-10 plays in a lot of hands.
Any jack has a straight now.
Oh yeah. Somebody with jack's gonna bet. That's for sure. So what'd you have, Rob? Rob? Did we lose him? Maybe he's answering.
Disconnected.
Maybe he's answering the phone. Rob, are you back? He probably put us on mute for a second. He probably has a phone call, somebody at the door.
Sorry, I did have a phone call. I'm back.
What did you have that hand that you didn't call the 10 cents?
I had a jack 7 suited.
So you'd have won.
Spade, so you would have taken me, but I would have won. Right.
You would have won the pot, yeah.
Right. But it did cost me the pot. But that's where I was playing the player on that, where I was playing you. And sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad, but I did not have a good hand to just call that dime. Because you would have, if I did, the next play around, you would have raised. Because you would have been playing me.
Mm-hmm. I had 8-3 then. But you've checked, and there's one more player to go. I figure he doesn't have much anything. I'm just going to go ahead and pop it, and if he stays, okay, I might get an 8 or a 3 on the next card. If not, I'll just steal the money that's out there, and that's what happened.
Well, I had suited cards, big field goal suited cards, and I was hoping for a
What do you mean by field goal cards?
wide range. I had a jack 2 suited. So I was just hoping that I hit flop for a nickel. I was hoping that I flopped a flush.
Well, when you say wide range, what you really mean, this is really Peter from over in Australia who came up with.
That's exactly where I got that from.
Where he came up with the field goal. Because a field goal, for those of you in football, now see, I got the same odds. I limped in for a nickel. Now I got to put another dime in. I don't really want to, so it forced me there because of the odds. But the field goal is 2 goalposts that are far apart. So when you say that the hand is like a field goal, that means that the cards are wide apart, like Queen 2, like King 3, like 10-4. You know, they're not gappers, they're not connectors, they're not anything like that. So that's why you say the cards are like a field goal, and that they're wide apart. The goalposts are wide apart. The cards are wide apart. That's what everybody's talking about when they say that.
Marcin, chime in if you have anything to go here.
Sorry.
Anything you
more
want to
time?
say, Marcin, anytime, just ask the question.
Any questions
Yeah,
over the
I'm
top?
all the time with you guys. I'm all the time. I'm just watching. I'm
Learning,
all the time.
right? You're learning?
Of course.
Okay, now this, I have nothing here. This time I'm going to go for the big steal. Queen 3. So now anybody that plays against me has to have, they're out of position. They have to have a much better hand because I put more money into the pot. It's not like, they got a nickel or dime in it. They have only a little bit to call. They have to put a lot more. That tells me what they might have, and it also puts them on the defensive because I'm being the aggressor. So I mix it up from the button all the time, and sometimes I will fold, showing them I do have some kind of restraint. I have
Super Jumbo just joined our table. He's one of your followers.
Oh yeah, that's Nicky. That's
Yep,
Nick from
Yep.
Baltimore.
Yep.
He's in the chat at the Twitch channel, so he's going to get this on a 2-minute delay.
So Nick can be tough to play against. He's pretty aggressive.
The Super Jumbo Man, huh?
Yep.
I tricked him out of a couple of pots the other day. He gave me more.
So did I. But
He gave me some credit for Monsters Under the Bed, and I took advantage of it. Ace 5 is an easy fold. Suited, I would be playing that more aggressively, but unsuited, it's in the trash every single time. But there are people that cannot throw away ace rag. They think it's a quality hand, and it gets them into trouble more often than not.
Can I ask you a question about your ace 5 right there?
Yeah.
If you were one spot over to your left, if you were in the cutoff on that, would you have played it?
No.
No.
The reason being is the guy on the button is the tightest player at the table.
Okay. Now, months ago, I would not have thought of that. I would play an ace 5, except I would have to go through him with a steal with an ace rag or an ace 5, not an ace rag, an ace 5 or ace 4, because I still had a good card and a possible straight draw. But with him, it's tough to steal a blind from Tom because if he has a good hand, you're screwed.
Mm-hmm.
And you thought that I was that thick-headed that I couldn't learn this game. I can't believe you said that when I started.
What did I say?
That I was too thick to learn this game.
You told me that your wife said that you're too thick to learn this game, and then you said to me, I think she's right about it. I don't know if I have a chance to learn it. And I said, if you meet me halfway, I'll go more than halfway with you with time, resources, everything else that you need, and I guarantee you'll be a winning player. I didn't say I promise. I didn't say I'll make you. I said I guarantee you'll be a winning player.
I was fibbing. You just told the 100% truth because I did say that to you. That's exactly the conversation that we had. Exactly.
It all depends on the client. If they want to do the reading, if they want to do the trial, at the table now see he raised here 45, not 25. So I'm thinking his hand is a little weaker than normal. I'm going to say he has ace 10, ace 9 suited, ace 10, maybe pocket eights here. What do you got, Rob?
Well, I'm going to tell you that you're incorrect because normally I raise pot plus when I have a strong hand so that I get a caller. But right now I have 9-7 suited.
Okay, good. That's good.
That is my 2016 goal.
That right there is a good indication where you just threw off a player like me that likes to read bets and position and style of play. So if you can do that with me in that situation by making that bet, that means that you're doing it to others that know how to play. Now, there's some people at the table that just play one dimension. It doesn't matter. You made the 45. They're going to think you got, like a pair of nines or something like that. Now, this guy is out of the blind, and he re-raised me. And now I've got a suited connector here, and I want to see if I can get his $10. Only if I flop it, though. And I didn't flop it. 8-9 suited. And no suit in my favor out there. I think he's got a big ace. He might even check this hand because he's got ace king or something. See? How easy is that to read, huh?
Well, he definitely has an ace.
Yeah, I'll check it back. I didn't get a redraw. Now he's got buku cards.
Yep.
He expects me to bet. See, he bet there as if he had the king, whereas, if I had the 7 there, I would let him keep betting because I know he thinks there's no way I have the 7.
Right.
So here I'm limping again just to demonstrate what I'm doing. I've only got pair of 2s, and I want to see a flop, and I want to spike a 2 and take somebody's stack. And not now I got 2 little stacks. It isn't worth it to me to try to steal, to do anything. I'm just going to get out of it. It's just not worth it. I was playing over at the casino last night, a 1-2 game, and went down about, I guess, 90 in the first hour. I just, nothing. And then the second hour, got back to even, 55 above, and then the third hour, I gave back some of that, but it was just like up and down. It was just like tedious. It was just not happening. You just couldn't get the cards, couldn't get the play. And other guys, this one guy at the end of the table, he had probably $1,400 at a 1-2 table. He was hitting everything under the sun.
Until now, I never in my life I never play live.
Well, you don't need to.
Yeah, I know, but this is good to start. Like Europe play live or no?
I only played live twice. I did good once, I did bad the other.
And you play in casino?
We have card rooms here, poker rooms.
Card rooms, alright. That's different.
Al says it's easier to win money live. That's going to be something that's a learning process for me. It's a lot
Easier to play live.
It's a lot slower, I'll tell you that. So you really
I know that because there is not the things are not going automatic like here.
Right.
Because
You
someone
have
needs
to really concentrate.
you need to read how many chips has your opponent. I can imagine this. But you play tournaments or you play just a cash game in casino?
Say that again?
Cash or tournament?
Cash. I'm not a big tournament guy. There's money in cash.
I know, but it's a good thing that you people have a possibility to play in casino. Because right here, when I stay here, the nearest casino where I can play poker, Texas Hold'em, is like 300 miles from me, so it's too far to go there.
That's a good thing at this stage, Marston. Trust me, it's a good thing. While you're learning, it's a good thing it's out of your reach because you don't need to go find out how tough it is until you get the skills. So your job, your job is to earn enough money playing live so you can afford playing online, so that you can afford a trip to go find out how it is to play live one day.
Yeah, I will do, but definitely not yet because I don't even know the rules in casino. How is that? Because those are the cash games, those are the tournaments. I know those are both things, but I know that basically that costs more money, right? I think so, right?
Yeah.
Or you play a cash games with some people because that's basically the people are coming on tournament, which is like for example, I don't say about.
You have the Jag, Rob?
No.
Do you have the boat?
No, I had a king.
You just had
a king. What'd you say?
You were just trying to steal it, huh?
I was. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't pay attention.
You didn't see the straight?
No, I did. I didn't pay attention that he was still in with that small pot.
Ah. 2 Isles is in today. The Dark Hammer. Hope your sister's feeling better. Limper by Tom Brady in early position. I folding my 8-3 of hearts here, and I think that Tom definitely will call, but he might even make this a buck and a half if he's trapping.
I think that he was trapping too. I think that he might raise this over $1 too.
Yeah, him is on the hand.
Ooh.
Wow, that's call.
Just calls. The guy with the more likely to have the ace is going to be Filaretti, who first raised. Tom's just calling again. So
That means I think him has an ace.
he
because
could
he
have
was
an ace.
trapped.
He could have an ace, but he
We're
could
gonna
have
see right now.
he could have Queen King of Diamonds too.
He's supposed to do like a check raise on the turn, not if him has an ace. Oh, he don't.
He doesn't have
Maybe he
either
got
one.
a flush draw or something. If him got a diamond, now I think him is not happy. There are already 3 diamonds on the board.
There's the flush. He stayed.
So
He
that
was,
guy, Piloti, he got an ace, I think.
He had an ace and he was afraid of that diamond, that flush out there the first time. That's why he checked. But he couldn't get away from that ace.
Yeah, it's very strong to if you're catching the very good hand on the flop after it's
Are you
very
playing
strong
now?
to throw it.
I can't tell you.
Well, I'm not. I'm folding.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not playing. Not,
And the reason why I asked before is I'm folding, and I would have raised that if Donkey didn't come in. I would have went in with Nick. I had an ace-9
Why didn't you think about re-raise?
because I didn't want to play about with 2 of them in there with that small stack. I knew that Nick had strong cards. I wanted to go in there against him saying that I had stronger.
And wouldn't you have done that if you re-raised him?
Yes, but I didn't want to go against that small stack because I think that he would have called if I re-raised. I think Donkey would have called if I re-raised.
I understand what you're saying, but he didn't because he went away. But here's the thing:
Okay.
you were in late position, and you were going to raise with that hand, and you said you wanted to practice 3-betting. That's a perfect opportunity to do it.
So as a squeeze type of thing?
As a squeeze, where you're trying to squeeze Jumbo out and isolate against Donkey, or in this case, you maybe got one of them out. Either one of them, you still have position, and you're telling them you got a stronger hand, and you can barrel. There's a lot of things you could do from there. So you don't have to, a lot of times when people fold, I think they forget about re-raising, and I think that's a mistake some people make. Is that a lot of times the re-raise can benefit them. Marcin, now you can put your name on a list here. You've been sitting out a half an hour, so you could come back to this table now and sit with $10, having banked.
Yeah, I can do. Just
see
a
that?
second.
You see, so you should know that once you sit out, then.
But there are already 3 people who waiting for a
Yeah,
table.
no, I'm not saying you're doing. I'm just trying to point out. If you wait a half hour, you can always go back to a table. You can go to another table too, but I just wanted you to be aware of that. That if you came in before the half hour, they would make you sit with the $40.
Oh yeah, so that I can see that with 40, right?
You could
No,
sit with
yeah.
40, yes.
Yep,
I already
10.
disappeared from this list. I mean,
But now you can only sit
so-
with 10. So more than 30 minutes. So you got to sit with 10 now.
oh, I didn't know that.
Once it's 30 minutes, then you can only go back with $10. So I limped, and Nick out of position makes it 50 cents. Now I'm closing the betting, and I've just got a 7-8 here. I was trying to see a flop cheap and see if I could spike something. These 2 guys don't have enough money, even though it's 40 cents to go in. Nick has enough money, but I like my position, but I don't like my cards well enough. If they were suited, I might call there, but unsuited, no.
Okay, and Nick's probably listening. He'll get this in a minute. I think that Nick, being the small blind, and he raised it 50 cents, I think that he needed to raise that more.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Especially against these two short stacks. Now
Yes.
Nick
Okay.
checks. He checks, and now if he raises here, you know, he's hit. But if he doesn't raise here, I think he's still drawing at something. He's got the ace king or ace queen.
Now, Donkey should have went all in on that and put him out. That's what I would have done, where he checked.
I don't think Nick calls here unless he's got two diamonds with his ace king, ace queen. I just don't think he can call the 236.
I think that Nick could have put Donkey out with a bigger raise than 50 cents coming in there.
He might have, but maybe he didn't want to either. Maybe he had a hand he wanted to play. Oh man goes 20. So I'm going to go the pot here with my ace jack. I'm just trying to isolate on oh man. I want other people out. Brady I don't want in because then I know he's got a better ace than me probably.
I do
Jumbo's
not
out.
like ace jack.
So now I got the button. And so my
Yeah.
bet's going to be $3.46. Okay? Why is it $3.46, Morrison?
Because that's all you asked me.
$3.46. You have ace jack against how many? One second.
But why is it 346?
That's all that he has.
You want to figure out that king has a flush draw.
No.
That's all that he had.
Because
No.
he has all stack. That's all his stack.
That's correct. I want to tell him I'm playing for your whole stack here. If you want to draw, I want your whole stack.
And it shows that you're paying attention to what he has for money instead of just hitting max.
Absolutely. It's also a macho type thing. Some people see it and they say, oh, he's just doing that because he knows that's all I got. He could be bluffing. And so sometimes they have a little something they'll call you and think you're trying to do something to them. So you can play a little head game with somebody with that as well.
It also shows other people at the table that you're not watching TV or reading a book as you're doing this too.
Nick said he had ace queen off when he raised 50 cent, and I said he had ace queen or ace king. Do you remember? And
Yep.
he missed with the jack 10 on the board.
Right.
Yep.
And I think that he could have put Donkey out if he raised more.
Yeah, that 50 cent with the ace queen should have been
Right.
bigger out of position.
Right.
I agree.
Especially with the ace queen out of position, which they're good cards, but you have to play them extremely strong.
Right. Marcin, your video will be up probably later today. You'll be sleeping, so you can get it tomorrow. But it'll be up on YouTube, and then this one here with Rob will be up later than that because I can only do one at a time.
Yeah, that's fine.
We're going to stay here until the top of the hour, Rob, and then I have to call it quits for today.
That's all right.
Maybe I don't gonna play. I gonna leave my waiting list because I have still, but I'm just gonna listen. Okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
We're going to be here 15 more minutes and then get some sleep, okay? I know it's midnight, almost midnight over there in Cambodia.
Yeah,
and
that-
hot,
that's-
right? And hot.
Right. That's exactly 12 hours. So
Woo!
That's a tough one.
What a turn. The name fits him. I'm a donkey. Jumbo, did you charge him enough all the way? Especially on the flop?
That two pair to a set cost me a lot of money at the live show there.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Rob, I'm going to ask you one tough question.
Oh, okay.
All right?
Yep.
Tell me what you think of Nick's decision last week when I tried to talk to him about coming in and giving him a free session, but he was in a 1-2 game or something, or he was screwing around with something else, and he said, "No, not right now."
I think I'm going to be honest with you. Anybody that a free session with you,
Yeah.
I'd drop everything to get a free session. That's a huge mistake. There are some of the stuff, Al, and it takes a while to sink in. And Marcin, you need to listen to this. It takes a while to sink in, but some of the stuff that you teach or give after when I review my videos, because you can't get it when you're doing it, is just astronomical. It's unbelievable. And to get a free session, to be offered a free session, and because you're doing something or playing in a better game right now, you threw money away.
Yeah, that's correct. I agree.
That was a bad decision by Nick.
So,
I'll take his free lesson.
so Jumbo comes in for a quarter, and I make it 2 from the button. I've got 10-8 offsuit, and I am on a total steal, and I want to see what he'll do under the gun. Now, if he's got something great, he'll come over the top. He should not call me here. Pitch calls. So this is a total bluff bet, okay? $3. I have an 8, and I win. So I pick up $4 there by betting because everybody else didn't act like they were really strong. And I had position. So sometimes position is better than anything else. If you listen to my new interview that on Smart Poker Study, it's up on my YouTube channel right now, where I was interviewed by Sky Matsuhashi. He asked me about different things I think would be better to learn as a new player, and what was the one thing, and I said position / aggression. Take advantage of your position and always be aggressive.
When was your interview with Sky?
That was on last week, and he posted it on all the social medias. And yesterday he gave me a copy, so I put it up. If you go to my playlist, you'll see it. It should be at the top of my playlist. It's a really good interview he did with me.
I follow Sky, and I haven't seen that.
He sent out an email with it in it. That's how I saw it.
You know what? I must have just deleted that email straight out, because he does some very, and people that don't follow Sky, he does some extremely informative podcasts.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna call to my home because my mother came from work already. So.
Okay, take care, Marcin. All the best.
Guys, thank you very much for a very great session today. I have a very good.
Have a good night, Marcin.
Sleep well. Sleep well.
Thank you very much, and have a nice day.
Okay, Rob's got probably a mid pair, but he might have hit the 5s, but I think he didn't like Tommy coming in because Tommy's got a big hand. So what do you got, Rob?
I don't have. I have Ace Jack.
Oh.
Okay, bye.
And I was hoping that I'd get Tom the fold so I could go against Old Man, but.
I had ace deuce of spades, but when you made it 55, I couldn't play it.
I'm not a big fan of Ace Jack, believe me.
No. Whoa, what's that?
That's not me, that's you.
Really?
Yeah.
That was, maybe somebody just followed me.
Oh,
And
you know what? That could be telling them, yes.
that might be the sounds of the donation. Sometimes it's the donation train that makes that sound. Maybe somebody donated something. That'd be very nice if they did to Spath at alspath.com for my efforts. Now, oh man, I only got 146 here. I'm going to raise him. I was going to do the pop, and I'm going to make it 1 with my ace king because I want him to put all his money in and nobody else to come in here. You know, if they do come in, that's going to help me define their hands. Come on in, having fun. I don't care. Okay, old man, just put it all in. You can't. There you go. I'll take this race. He's got fives. He hit a five. I had a king. No good for me. I need runner. I can't beat him. He's got two outs. He hit one of his two outs.
That's what that. But he didn't. There was no strategy in that because he's so short stacked. You can't play against. You had no play once you're all in. Oh, he's all
Sure.
in.
That's right. I'm limping with King Jack here. I mean, somebody's got $1.50. You're going to take a race all day long with an ace king if they hit it, against a pair.
Absolutely.
They've got you like 53-47, but still,
Yeah.
the board could pair up and they
coin flip.
the board could pair up like sixes and tens, and then the ace plays and the fives get no. There's lots of ways for the low pairs to get beat. So
Absolutely.
you can't be afraid of that. And with all the demonstrative I've done today and tried to show the isolations and this and that, I'm still making a small profit. So I've given money back only just trying to demonstrate a few things. Although I would have done the same thing there with the ace king. I wasn't just demonstrating. I was trying to show that you want to get that isolation or somebody else to come in for more money and set up a side pot.
Oh, absolutely.
But things don't always work out. So if I got somebody on the side pot there, then my king would have played and I would have won money from them possibly.
Right. Well, you got to take that coin flip with this small stack, anyways.
Sure. If you got $600 and you're doing that, that's a little different story. It's you don't know if you want to coin flip $600. That's more gambling than poker playing.
Right. But for $1.50, you got to take that coin flip. You have to.
Right. What do you have this hand, Rob?
Ace 5 offsuit.
Okay, well, I'm going to watch this last hand, and I'm going to end the video, and I thank you for your time. Thank you for everybody that's listening, whether it be up on YouTube or live here this morning. 2 sessions, one with Marcin, one with Rob. Marcin was getting some really good cards and made 40 got from 10 to 40, and Rob's had some good cards, but a lot of hands he couldn't play, and he's at 17, which is still a $7 profit at 5 cent, 10 cent. You can live with that every day. 2 or 3 times a day makes for good sense. And yes, you are, Nick. You just have to wait until I have an opening. It's going to be next week with Eric. We're going to do a shadowing with him. He maybe even this weekend. I don't know. He hasn't talked to me. He's going to be sitting at the table first, and you're going to listen and shadow, and then you're going to be sitting the next time, and you're going to be at the table, and we're going to be shadowing you. So you're going to get 2 for 1.
Thanks, Al.
Okay, buddy. Take care. Take care, everybody. I'm going to end the stream right now and keep on winning.